Good morning and welcome, everybody. This is Haiku Friday. It is July 17th, 2026. This, by the way, is the third take. The third take of Haiku Friday. I made a mistake on the first one, and then the second one just quit recording at some point. And so I'm going to keep a close eye on this one. Luckily, not a ton of haikus for you this morning, but so I'll get we'll get this done and it'll be really good. Here is the first haiku. It is from Max Q. Working in the yard and daring the bees to bite, quite impervious. You don't hear impervious enough in haikus. Thank you, Max Q. Second one is from Max Q. Another morning, my ADD time of day can't get organized. And I think that is the first thing, that's what happens to me in the morning. But you know what? Max Q, Bill just happened to have a haiku, which I feel like dovetails with yours quite nicely. Here's Bill's. Cool summer morning, a quiet time with coffee, wish it never ends. And I love that feeling, Bill. I know what you're talking about. All right, here is one from Rikosan. Things aren't what they were, but they never were they? A revelation. Yes. The good old days, make America great again. Well, when was that? What was your definition of greatness? What was, anyway? Yeah, those good old days. Thank you, Riko-san. And here is my haiku. Landing, I wake up. Awkward steps toward the hatch. Strange new world beckons. Been kind of in a science fiction-y mood lately. And I think sometimes the weather does. It's very smoky here. And when it gets smoky, it seems really otherworldly. In fact, they had the World Science Fiction Convention here, maybe 10 years ago. And it was wonderful. It was great. It was extremely smoky. So much so that if you downtown, you could hardly see to the next block. But the cool thing was, there were all these people dressed up in their cosplay stuff walking down the street. Aliens and robots coming out of the smoke. It was so cool. And it was really cool to go to it. It's where they do the Hugo Awards. So we got to see that in Spokane, Washington, of all places. All right. So that concludes these haikus. What is going on? Well, let's see. I have been practicing my caricature drawing for the Bigfoot Festival, next year's Bigfoot Festival, in which I would like to have a booth and some prints and maybe paintings to sell. But I would also like to offer caricature skills, which means I have to develop caricature skills. And so I've been working on that with a special angle for the fair or for the festival. So we'll see how that goes. But if nothing else, it's been fun. Let's see. I have a little solar project. I'm building a charging station for the batteries for the lawnmower and the weed whacker and blower and chainsaw and all that stuff. So I've got the solar panels and I've got all the stuff, and I just need to start putting it together and figure out a way to put it up on the roof, but really not on the roof. So I don't need any permits. You know what I'm talking about. All right. Speaking of solar, I bought a GoSun solar oven that works really well. It just cooks food super fast, really like a regular oven, I guess. It's very interesting piece of equipment. I was big into solar energy when I was 13. I bought a Scholastic book on how to build solar projects. And so I'd made a solar oven. And it didn't work very well. But this works really well. We had some great camping this weekend with some friends. That it's always more fun camping with friends, that's for sure. And sat around campfires and talked, and oh my gosh, it was fun. It was in Idaho, and due to a judge's intervention, the Idaho law that would have prevented me from using the bathroom of my gender, I would have had to use the men's room, which I had plans to wear a bikini and use the men's room and all that stuff, but I didn't have to. They had showers too. That would have been so much fun. But, just to obey somebody's stupid law, just obey it, and it's like, so I was going to obey their stupid law, and maybe they would see how stupid the law is. Hopefully see how stupid the people that they elect, the Republicans that they elect, are, but didn't get a chance to do that because a judge intervened and the law is put on hold for a little while. Oh, a new sign for my shrine, my little firefighter shrine that's out in the garden. I guess it's going to be, I kind of call it the woke shrine sometimes, because I'm going to have all these signs on it. Like the first sign said truth. This one says community. Maybe the next one will say courage. Maybe the one after that will say something like kindness. And then I'll have all these attributes. And then woke. Because, the conservatives want to tell us that just being a decent human being these days is being woke. Yeah. Those are the same people that tell you that empathy is unchristian, even though that's kind of what Jesus, all he ever preached was empathy, right? So, yeah. So, anyway, a subtle project, I would say. So that's it. You could have a project. You could send me your haikus, which I would love to see your haikus. I would love to read your haikus. And I would do it in a very respectful fashion, a celebratory fashion, if you will. And if you'd like to go explore some of these haikus from years past, go to haikufriday.com and you can see all those and see I'm a person of my word. I will read your haiku. When I first started this, probably 10 years ago, I had like sometimes 20 haikus. I mean, it was just an incredible, maybe not 20, but more than 10 oftentimes. But since it's kind of like gone down to just a stalwart bunch of us who to read our haikus. And I have to admit, I like that too. I think it's fun that there's this group of people and we get together and we do this. That's fun for me. But why don't you jump in on the fun and send me your haiku. And you can do that by going to haikufriday.com, or you can just leave it in the comments, or however you'd like to do it. All right. Okay. Thanks for tuning into Haiku Friday. Hopefully this take works, and I will see you next week. Bye now.